I'm currently working on my PSX horror game where you are a reporter in a serial killer's house. In this video, as usual, I modeled characters. Yeah, I still hate it. I started by replacing the guy from the news broadcast in the intro segment. And by replacing, I mean I gave him an actual face instead of the hand-painted one I used before. This is how it looks. I know, it doesn't look that great, but it's barely noticeable in the game. In the previous video, there was a bug which messed up my dialog box. I managed to fix it thanks to you guys, you are heroes. The bug was caused by this VHS shader, so I was thinking about deleting it, but in the end I just put the dialog box above the shader, so it renders on top of it. So now my dialog box is working perfectly. Thanks again. Then I had to make the antagonist of my game. A serial killer who wears a black skull mask and kills everyone who sees his face. I asked an AI to make some concept arts, and they turned out quite good actually. This one was my favorite. This time, instead of using Make Human, I downloaded this base mesh and tried to texture it myself. Okay, so I started texturing it. Right now it looks horrible. It probably won't be any better, but that black thing on him is supposed to be a leather jacket. Okay, I finished texturing him. It looks horrible, it hurts to look at it, but if you see him in the game, you'll have to run from him, so hopefully you won't see him much anyway. Here's my UV layout. I basically just put all the faces on this tiny bit of texture. But as long as it works, it's all that matters. Right? By the way, did you know that only 11% of you are subscribed? So smash subscribe if you enjoy this content, and download my new game called The Mines of Balan for free. Link in the description. The following day I finally finished making the model. The mask doesn't look that bad to be honest. Oh, and that black thing on his head is not his hair, it's a hoodie. Let's just say it's decent. Could have been worse. But I don't really have levels or rooms to put him in, so I had to do some level design. Another task I hate. But first I had to redo my dialogue system. Right now, I write all the dialogue lines in this dialogue manager I wrote, and it works perfectly, but it's not compatible with localizations. So if I want to translate the game to different languages, then I'll have to redo it. It was quite simple, as you can see. Now I only have to write a keyword in the dialogue boxes for it to work. And the game automatically puts the correct dialogue lines there from this Excel file. And thanks to Godot's awesome localization system, I can easily change the language, and it will display the correct lines. Oh, and I also made this, which is basically just a dark box with doors. And I made opening and closing animations. While rewriting all of the dialogues in the game, I had an out-of-body experience. I've always spelled the name John correctly. But suddenly, it was so strange looking at this name. It looked like it was spelled wrong. I had to look it up if it's really spelled like this, even though I knew it was. It's strange, now I don't have this feeling while recording the voice lines. So after being through an existential crisis, I started making the first actual room which you can freely explore, the kitchen. Every good serial killer needs a kitchen, right? Right. I made this kitchen sink. You might say it looks amateurish, but I think it just stays true to the PS1 graphics. Actually no, you're right, it sucks. Oh, and the kitchen is probably too big. At least I'm sure my kitchen is much smaller than this. But it's good for now, I can always adjust it later. I forgot to say that I made this heartbeat sensor stuff, which shows your health. Right now I have 3 HP, which is the maximum. But if I lower it to 2, as you can see, it changes to this orangish color, and beats almost twice as fast. And if I lower it to 1, it becomes red, and beats 4 times every second. But it's quite boring without a sound effect, so let's add one. The sound effect is also a bit different depending on how many HP you have. And that's basically this week's progress. I hope you enjoyed it. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.